Where Member of Parliament Robert Kyagulanyi, well known as Bobi Wine, was rearrested moments after being released by a military court in Gulu, that is in northern Uganda. The MP was quickly whisked into a civilian court where he was charged afresh with treason. He has been remanded after the fresh charges, and his case has been set for hearing on August 30th. Bobi Wine sat silently in court, hands clasped together, even though he was not in handcuffs. He was arrested following violence during a by-election campaign in the northeastern town of Arua. His family and lawyers have said he's in fragile health after he was beaten and tortured, claims that have been dismissed by President Yoweri Museveni.
Nabo gye bali oyo mubaka Robert Kyagulanyi sentamu okutambula kulabika si kwangu nnyo n'olwekyo tukyalindirira tulabe ki ekigenda okudirira. Medad Segona pulida we aina byamuyitiramu tetumanyi oba aina byategezeddwako erudda naye nga tukyalindirira katuulire oba tunaawulira ku Medad Segona.
I am going to sit with him. I said I can only go with him. I happened to sit in their car. They informed me that we are going straight to court where the charges are waiting for him. In his state, I don't want us to engage in any quarrel with them. Okay. We shall fight from court the same way we have fought here. Accordingly, I have been informed to inform you that you are under arrest. We shall cooperate with them to the extent that
Let's now get the very latest coming out of Kampala, Uganda. We have our correspondent there, my colleague Solomon Sarawanja. Solomon, good to have you on the show. Perhaps what's the latest that you've managed to gather for us in what has been a very dramatic day in Uganda?
Well, it's a good afternoon from the capital Kampala, but just quite miles away in Gulu. It was a seemingly well-choreographed series of events as Robert Kyagulanyi was brought before the Gulu military court-martial that has left many questions and answers. First of all, the state losing interest in the case and the case being dismissed. Remember, Robert Kyagulanyi had the earlier charges that were placed against him were possessing of ammunition, and these guns and bullets were put before the press. And it's just we're all asking why the sudden loss in the interest of that matter. And of course, that was dismissed by the military court-martial. And then later on, it was about 5 to 10 minutes of freedom. And we could clearly see him break down after spending over 10 days in military custody, and he could barely walk. He could barely sit. You could literally see a man who has been bruised, beaten, and battered by the military because he's been in custody of the military. His facial expression left many wondering the state that he's in, and of course, being brought before the Gulu Magistrates Court, Yusuf. Of course, we all know that Magistrates Court cannot try treason charges, and we all knew that he was going to be remanded, and then of course given a sort of self-relief, and then to get some sort of medical attention as described by the magistrate there. But Yusuf, let me just give you a look of how Kampala was. Yusuf, there was some sort of excitement when the charges were dropped in different parts of the city, but eventually there was another dark cloud hovering over the city, especially supporters of Bobi Wine when he was once again detained. So the next couple of days, we're going to be seeing bail applications coming through from Bobi Wine's lawyers, and then back and forth before the ruling on whether he should be set free. Is going to be one of the things that will be closely following Yusuf.
Thank you very much, Sarawanja, for that update. Of course, we're going to link up with you once you get any sort of development coming out of Gulu there. We understand that is where Bobi Wine has been remanded up until the end of this month, that is August 30th, when he will reappear before the court alongside other co-accused. Still in Uganda, right activists now in Kenya have been demanding officials in neighboring Uganda to release Robert Kyagulanyi, a Ugandan politician and musician popularly known as Bobi Wine. He has been held by Ugandan authorities since his arrest in August, and in the western town of Arua after Uganda's presidential motorcade was attacked and Kyagulanyi's driver was shot dead. Kyagulanyi was charged with illegal possession of firearms and ammunition at a military court in Gulu, that is in Uganda. Rael Ombor reports from Nairobi.
Robert Kyagulanyi was arrested at a violent protest in northwestern Uganda, where campaigning was taking place for the Arua municipality parliamentary by-election. Kyagulanyi, who represents Kyadondo East political region, had been campaigning for an opposition candidate. His arrest and detention at a military camp outside the capital Kampala has caused outrage across East Africa. The Law Society of Kenya advocacy group held a news conference Tuesday in Nairobi to demand the politician's release and express unity.
We want to pass a message to all the international community and the citizens of the East African countries that we as the citizens of East Africa, we are going to stand together so that none of the presidents should imagine that if they can stifle dissent in their own country, that will be the end of free speech.
Kyagulanyi's driver was shot dead after police opened fire on the crowds. 33 other people were arrested and charged with treason on the same day. Rights activists vowed to keep pressure on the government.
The people of Uganda want peace and stability, and the ongoing crackdown on opposition dissidents will do nothing but worsen the situation.
At Nairobi's Power 254, musicians, artists and rights activists stand up for a free concert organized in support of the detained politician. Kyagulanyi was a leading critic of the ruling party's move to scrap the constitutional presidential age limit. Uganda's President Yoweri Museveni has been in power since 1986 and is one of Africa's longest-serving presidents. The Afrobeat star turned politician has built a strong following among young people through his music, which has criticized the government for corruption and injustice. Al-Amin Kimathi was an event organizer.
We are gathered here today to send a message of solidarity with the people of Uganda first, and with the suffering families of Bobi Wine, Robert Kyagulanyi, as well as his colleague members of parliament, Honorable Zaki and the rest, who are suffering in Ugandan jails after being terrorized, brutalized for their political choices.
Margaret Oduto is an artist from Uganda.
My message to the government and to the system is that it's not enough to silence voices, because one voice is silenced, 1,000 other voices will rise.
Activists plan to march to the Ugandan High Commission in Nairobi Thursday as they continue their demand for the politician's release.
And still in Uganda, it's been a very busy day there. And the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Jacob Oulanyah, unexpectedly adjourned the Wednesday parliamentary sitting after legislators demanded for the tabling of the long-awaited ad hoc committee report on the alleged torture of the arrested legislators in Arua. This after the chairperson of the ad hoc committee and Amolata woman member of Parliament, Doreen Amule, disowned the committee report that had been uploaded on the legislators' iPads.
In a Wednesday parliamentary sitting chaired by the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Jacob Oulanyah, the Minister for Security, General Eli Tumwine, was the first to present a joint security ministerial statement concerning the current state of security in the country.
And he smiled broadly and greeted me. Hey, Mr. Speaker, I'm delighted you have come to see me. And we hugged, and we sat, and we started talking.
Honorable members, I want to take this opportunity to assure you and the country that our security forces will continue, and I repeat, continue, to discharge their duties of defending this country and its sovereignty firmly and effectively.
But as the Deputy Speaker opened the debate on the statement, the fire-spitting legislators questioned why the ad hoc committee was not allowed to present the long-awaited report of the arrested members of Parliament. The Speaker's plea that the report was not ready fell on deaf ears, as members insisted that it had already been uploaded on legislators' iPads, the report that the committee chairperson, Doreen Amule, disowned.
So, for us to proceed, we need the report presented.
And as a matter of fact, There are things that clerk that was assigned to the committee has to answer to me, particularly as chairperson. So for that matter, the report is not ready, and personally I'm not ready.
Well, I am shocked. Our chairperson was with us up to Monday evening. We agreed to have a meeting today at 9. Instead of coming for the meeting, she went for a meeting with the Minister for Internal Affairs.
When we went on Monday, he was crying. He didn't even smile at me. He is very friend. So I can't confirm that he is very happy.
You telling me to change and write something I did not see. I can't. I mean, that is not me. Me, Badiayanga, writing something that I did not see. I cannot do that.
But to the government chief whip, Ruth Nankabirwa, together with some NRM legislators, the blocking of the ad hoc committee report was necessary.
Representing Honorable Kyagulanyi.
Away from matters Uganda, let us revisit the developments in South Sudan, where former Botswana President Festus Mogae, who has been chairing the Joint Monitoring and Evaluation Commission for South Sudan, announced he is stepping down as the leader of the group. In a statement on Monday, Mogae said he is satisfied with the process of peace building so far and wanted to leave it in new hands. JMEC was formed by the Intergovernmental Authority on Development, that is IGAD, in 2013. JMEC was formed to monitor the implementation of the August 2015 peace deal between rebels under Riek Machar and President Salva Kiir. That agreement, however, broke down just a year later, leading to fresh violence. Early this month, Kiir and Dr. Machar signed another peace deal. The implementation of that deal is due to start giving hope to South Sudanese who have fled their homes. At this hour, I have in studio Chol Ajongo, who is South Sudan ambassador to Kenya, to tell us more about the peace and security deal. I understand there is another final set of the deal that is set to be signed next week between the two main protagonists. I'm going to engage him more within the program, but first, let's take a very short break. We'll be back shortly. Stay with us.
This is KTN News.